लाइफ एक पतंग सी है, मर्जी से अपनी उड़ती है, जाती है ये कहीं कहीं ये उड़ती
Camera rolling.
Okay, and action.
ना बंधनों में बांध से, जी लेने दे जैसे चाहे, love 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 light my way.
Here is a love story that, in a very strange way, that stays with you after it's over. There'll be a lot of things that will keep coming back to you and you'll keep thinking about them once the film is over. So it's just not the title, it's even the feeling that the film leaves you with.
It is a love story which I think talks about eternal love, but it's a love story with a twist.
We liked the script because we wrote it, and it was intriguing because it was an original take on a romantic comedy.
It's a genre buster, and KKP approached us with it. Seemed like it was totally up our alley, and there was a lot that we could do with it.
I wish Phir was releasing in the theatre. I'd make that much more money on the film because you'd keep watching it again and again. You know, casting for any film is really difficult because when you write a script, you write certain characters and then you want the actors to fit exactly like what you've been picturizing in your mind.
What was really amazing to see is that people from all over the country registered on this Cornetto website to take part in the MTV Cornetto Luv Reels. Actors, actresses.
It was quite rigorous and tedious. We spent weeks and weeks of auditioning actors.
It was frustrating, it was funny, it was intriguing. But what matters is that at the end of the day, we managed to find the people we were looking for.
Very rarely when you see the tests of certain people, you say, you know what, this is what we all had visualized.
The main character, the male protagonist, is a kind of bumbling yet brave kind of investigator. Rahul's got a great comic timing and he's a funny guy. And now Aisha's a very energetic young lady and she's bubbly and she's kooky and she's a bit quirky. She's an interesting girl. And Laika brings a lot of energy to the part and a lot of positivity.
It's quite vivacious. I think our actors' personalities brought a lot to these characters.
And fleshing them out in rehearsal as well helped a lot.
वो कहते हैं कि हर 157 साल में विष्णु चक्र धरती से दिखता है। इसी तरह हर 100 साल विष्णु चक्र धरती से दिखता है। मैंने 6 महीने पहले इसे देखा था।
I registered with the Cornetto.in and I got a call from there that you have to go to Kunal Kohli's office to audition for the role. God's grace, I just got that role.
I quite liked the script of Phir Se because it was tight, witty, and it told a good story quite well. Gave me enough scope to be an actor, to play around with my character.
It was like a lot of things I could do, from like emotions to like romance to like having fun to adventure. It was full of everything.
There's some very good actors in it.
Well, she was fabulous in terms of acting. She helped me a lot. As a co-actor, she was like a support system for me.
I think they're fabulous and the chemistry is superb.
Roll camera.
Scene 19 shot, 9-1, take 1.
After you wipe his mouth, both of you smile and both take a bite together. Okay? Okay, one more. The first time I heard Nikhil's voice, I was like, okay, this guy's a really good singer. Then I met him as a composer, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's very talented. And I couldn't figure out what he does better, compose music or sing. And I think he does both brilliantly well.
Nikhil's a good friend of ours, Nikhil D'Souza, and he's a pretty prolific singer, and we wanted to promote him as a composer.
Yeah, I just want to rehearse. Listening to the script and working out what we needed for the film, it was quite clear. I mean, one of my songs was actually falling into the vibe of the film itself.
And we've tried to get that road trip feel, slightly kind of American, Johnny Cash, percussive guitar, acoustic, harmonica, so it's kind of country and western.
The song that I composed for the film works at several levels. There are elements of mystery involved in the film and some amount of melancholy. Singers were asked to send in their entries on the Cornetto website, and they were shortlisted by people from MTV and KKP. It was quite difficult, in fact, because there were quite a few of them who fell right in. But in the end, we did narrow down on one candidate. This new girl called Abhiruchi. Finally, what we came out with was something that everyone liked.
Life ye ek patang si hai, मर्जी से अपनी उड़ती है, जाती है ये कहीं कहीं ये उड़ती मुड़ती है, उलझे किस डाल से किस तार से न जाने ये उड़ जाए. Love, love, love will light my way. Love, love, love will light my way.
Phir as a film and as a story spins a web around you as an audience. So we needed a crew that could very intelligently help weave this web of romance and intrigue. And that's what we achieved with the crew of Phir.
The DOP of this film is an old friend of mine called Nigam Bomzan. So he's a very experienced DOP. I've known him for a while, so he was just the perfect choice.
Phir Se as a script was really, really interesting. As far as I know, a lot of directors would have treated it in a different fashion. There are a lot of shots that these guys had planned, and like, you know, they had come with they used to come onto the set with a list of shots. They really pushed me, and in a way, I think I've given them some of my best shots.
Nigam is a dynamo who stays up late, works all day, and still has energy to jump around in the evening. It's like he bounces energy off you, and that kind of energy on set is fabulous.
As far as the entire feel is concerned, you know, I think we managed to capture exactly what was required of the film.
As far as the styling goes, I think Christie's done a wonderful job, and it was not easy to come up with a look for a film like Phir, but I think she's managed wonderfully. I think the one interesting thing that Jeetu's managed to do in Phir is to create a very distinct look. So I think Jeetu's achieved a wonderful balance of keeping with the story and making the frames look really pretty. When you see one frame of Phir, you know that this belongs only to this film.
Mauritius is one of my favorite places for filming.
It was great. It's the first time I went to Mauritius and I just love the country.
It was an overall fantastic experience.
I just love the locations, everything about Mauritius.
There was a really good bar called Julie's Bar.
Yeah, that was
served
awesome.
with massive cocktails.
25 shots.
We had a drinking competition there.
If I got an opportunity, I would want to go back again. And
one of the interesting things of shooting a road film is the challenges of it. The road, the entire journey, is a character by itself.
For a vacation or for anything, I just want to go back there.
It was fun trying to find locations which are interesting roads. You see some interesting landscape behind, the sea behind, interesting turnarounds.
I could have done a lot of adventure, a lot of sport, water sports and all that.
There were times when we had to, you know, block 2 kilometers of the road because we were doing our sequences and traffic could not be allowed. And we managed that in a place like Mauritius.
It was fabulous, and on top of that I was working on a movie where I was playing the lead.
It has some action, it's got some thrill. We had to kind of get correct locations to be able to execute those action sequences. It was scary.
It was like, I want to do more things in there, but I didn't have more time.
Well, actually, our script demands a certain mystique and Mauritius.
It's an empty place.
Yeah, gorgeous landscapes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, this overall experience was truly amazing.
Action!
The supporting actor broke his ankle.
Yeah, he did. He did. He jumped in a silly way and he landed badly on his ankle. But we did manage to drag him back after 2 hours in the hospital, highly filled with morphine, and he still managed to deliver his role. And we propped him up on the camera, so it was fine.
Yeah,
it was fine.
It's a good spot.
Yeah, we got the shot. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of scary things for them. Like I've sat on the bonnet of a 4x4 taking shots. I've sat on the roof, and suddenly there was a speed breaker, and my car just bumps up, and the camera comes off. And like I was literally holding the camera, and nearly flew off the car.
Anything with moving vehicles is always difficult.
And you're working with a lot of expensive hardware. We had the red cam and also the BMW, so there's a lot of stuff that you can potentially break.
They made me do a scene for which I hate them. I will hate them for it. It was the chase sequence, and they made me run with the camera on a handle. And I think I must have run around like 2 kilometers. So by the end of the entire scene, I think there was not even a single bone in my body which was not hurting, and all my vital organs had been pushed to scary places.
For me, the most difficult scene to shoot was the bikini scene, because I was convinced that I was just like, I was way too chubby or unfit for it. So every evening I would like run around the hotel sort of working out and then stop in about 8 minutes. So we finally shot the bikini scene, and then well, I think it just went perfectly. I was nervous and sort of eating my nails for about 3 weeks until I actually saw the film. I think it worked. I think those 8-minute runs worked. Mental, the directors are awesome.
Two contrasting personalities. I have no idea how they work together, but they obviously do a good job because the film's turned out fab.
Poles apart. Like if Salil is north, Patrick is south. Because Salil is someone like who's very calm on the set, like you hardly hear Salil raise his voice. Whereas Patrick is, I think, just the opposite. Like he's sharp, like, and he's always like, he's always in a hurry and all.
Apart from a plant, it's all looking too nice and pretty.
So I think that way, like, they complement each other.
They balance each other out absolutely well. When Patrick's stressed out, Salil is peaceful. When Salil's stressed out, Patrick's peaceful. It's just sort of very synergetic.
And action! Because there are very few filmmakers who come in pairs, and I only know of two, Abbas Mastan and Patrick and Salil.
Alright guys, last take, let's go!
They were the people who actually realized that how much potential I had as an actor. One scene where there's another person in the movie, he's playing a landlord and all that. He had to, there's a scene he has to pee and I'm just hiding somewhere.
When you first start,
And I think my director acted better than him in that particular scene because he was more fabulous, and I thought that he should have been acted in that scene.
you don't need to do it for quite as long time. Bit juvenile, bit toilet humour, but
Yeah, it's a bit of Pink Panther meets Indiana Jones.
Yes. When does Indiana Jones
The DOP.
Definitely not me. because I believe that's what Rahul said, and I'm going to kill Rahul for it. He was possessed by some spirit or something. I'm not the Hitler on the set. Definitely not.
So I was told Salil, one of the directors, was the Hitler on set. He marched to shoot every day.
Salil. I can't do that, shut up.
Salil.
Patrick. Patrick definitely is Hitler.
And run! You can see this. To the top of the hump.
Hitler on set of Phir Nigam?
What the beep? Ravneet, whom we call Ravs, and she was actually the Mother Teresa on the set, because I'll tell you why. Always had smile on her face, like no matter what the situation was. Like there was a lot of times when like I was stressed out, the director was stressed out, and like you had to just walk up to her and tell her like, Ravs, you know, this is happening. And there were a lot of times like I wanted a lot of things, and she made sure that it was delivered to me. And trust me, she's done that for the entire unit. So Ravs was actually the Mother Teresa on the set.
The Casanova.
Casanova on that set.
Avi!
Well, there's a long list, but I'd like to put Salil on top of the list for this one.
Avi.
I think both the directors.
Christy.
Avi had a girl on one leg, a girl on the other, and a girl hugging him from behind.
I think me. I was the Bakra. They made me do all nonsensical stuff.
The thing is, if someone had played a prank on our set, we would have fired them. So.
Yeah.
Bakra was actually me. And I was made Bakra by so many people. Every day.
Tied me to the roof of a car, made me sit on the bonnet, made me run with the camera on my shoulder for around 2 kilometers, and then made me wade into the sea, where I actually nearly went into the shallow end and I nearly took the camera along with me into the sea. So yes, I was the Bakra.
The Bakra, Patrick.
So that was a great help from them, and I want to work with them again if I get a chance or anything like that.
They're quite successful and famous. So.
Yeah, and having the KKP like name behind the film obviously kind of had a lot of influence.
And they fought for our corner, so that's great. Yeah.
And it was a good experience, I think. So I really want to thank MTV and KKP and Cornetto for giving me this chance.
Salil and Patrick have a very interesting take on cinema. Their outlook is completely different. The way they look at a scene is completely different. I was really impressed with the way they would structure a scene, the way they'd film a scene, and I think that's what sets Phir apart from a lot of other films.
This film isn't what you think it is. It unravels like a puzzle, and that's, I think, very exciting. I'm completely enthralled by the fact that I'm part of such a puzzle. You'll have to watch it and figure it out all for yourself.
The way the characters, they keep on evolving in the film. And it's very interesting, like, I'm repeating interesting again and again because it is interesting.
There's obviously some kind of repetition. There's obviously something that's happening again. There's obviously a feeling of déjà vu. And that in a love story is very intriguing and very interesting. And that's what I really liked about Phir.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's brilliant at the moment, and
The film has turned out as a breezy, picturesque road trip film.
A completely different and a completely new voice. It's a nice blend of an avant-garde cinema with romance and thrills and just, you know, it's a lovely package.
we've captured what we wanted to capture.
Yeah, it's a movie that we'd love to watch.
Final product is good. That I can vouch for. Because like I trust my directors, and I think they've got what they wanted and they managed to get the best out of each and every one.
15 seconds left.
Okay, it's a genre buster, it's a rom-com, it's a thriller, it's suspense, it's got comedy, and so we're pretty certain you'll be entertained.
And it's got 2 stars who are going to be big in the industry. Me and Salil.
My final verdict on Phir will be that you'll want to see it Phir. And hopefully not because you didn't understand it, but because you loved it and you want to see it Phir.
That's not right. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Chilly.
लाइफ एक पतंग सी है, मर्जी से अपनी उड़ती है, जाती है ये कहीं कहीं, ये उड़ती मुड़ती है, उलझे किस डाल से किस तार से, न जाने ये उड़ जाने दे, ना बंधनों में बांध से, जी लेने दे जैसे चाहे ये, love, love, love will light my way, love, love, love will light my way, love, love, love will light my way. शायद ये सच है शायद नहीं, पर मैंने माना है सच है बस अब यही, चाहे तुम चाहो चाहे नहीं, हर रास्ते की मंजिल है कोई ना कोई, मिलवाएगा दिल ही मुझे उससे जो है मेरे वास्ते।